All right, fellas, we're back at it again. Second down. Tim, Fogmay, Dula, Josh. You guys know what to do.
All right. What now? This down here is about players that stood out over Wildcard weekend. Like makes you go, wow! Oh snap! Oh, he performed. My first player is Paul Richardson from the Seattle Seahawks. Even though he had 3 catches, I think for like 60 something yards. Yeah, that one-handed touchdown. That was amazing. My thing was somebody stepped up other than Dog Baldwin being the main guy. And to me, that was big because I don't like Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham to me he's not consistent. Yes.
Can I also make mention that we lost Tyler Lockett, and this guy he kind of take that role for Tyler Lockett.
Sean, don't get too happy with me praising the Seattle Seahawks. It's the last time.
I'm taking it all in. I'm taking it all in.
Don't get too happy. This is not gonna happen again. Hopefully not. But Paul Richardson to me stood up. He's a player that was had two very bad years of injury, and he came back and he showed that he could be another threat. On that offense, along with Doug Baldwin for Russell Wilson. To me, that was big, especially going into a game against Atlanta. They're the number 1 scoring offensive team in the league.
Yeah, I was impressed, obviously, with Rodgers scorching us. You know, he lit it up. He's showing that it might be a very interesting game at 4:40 next week on Sunday, or this weekend, I should say. And then, obviously, I got to give it up to Bell and Rawls. They just dominated in the running aspect of the game. Bell had 167, Rawls had 161, each of them averaging 5.8 and 6. It's pretty ridiculous. And then, obviously, as a Giants fan, I wowed Randall Cobb, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And then from the other standpoint, it was a good defensive battle a little bit out there in Seattle and Detroit. You had Zeke Ansah and Cliff Averill going at it. You know, they were pretty impressive to watch. Ansah was getting at it with 5 QB hits, 5 tackles. You know, he's doing pretty well all over the field there. So that's who wowed me, Timothy.
I'm gonna tell you one person who wowed me wild card weekend, and he's been the talk of a lot because he is a former number 1 overall pick. How about Jadeveon Clowney? How about him?
Ooh,
he got
so
shown up.
Good pick.
What about we talked about him like he's miscasting a 3-4. He's not outside linebacker, but they moved him to defensive end in that 3-4, and he's wrecking shop. It's like, I'm not gonna say JJ Watt who, but imagine them on the field together. Jeez Louise, he's turning into a terror. We talk about the Texans on offense. They're pretty inept. Shout out to Brock Osweiler, but man, I watched that game. I'm like, Clowney was all over the field, and he was beating up on a pretty good offensive line for Oakland. Oakland has a great offensive line. I think the second player that stood out to me for all the wrong reasons was Odell Beckham Jr. Listen, big players make big plays in big games. He dropped the ball not once, not twice, 3 times. So, he'll be back in the playoffs at some point, whether it be next year. He'll be back. I just hope that he goes back and remembers this. You know how when you're a kid, you get picked on, you get bullied, and you just remember that.
It hurts.
So the next time someone comes up, trying to get at you, you sock them in the face. You let them know. I really hope that, and you talk about Green Bay's defense. Odell Beckham has trashed some of the best corners in the NFL, and he got shut down by 3rd and 4th string corners for Green Bay. Oh man, I was surprised in a bad way there. I would thought he would have made 1 or 2 more plays. But shout out to Jadeveon Clowney, man. Not a bust. I like that.
Yes. This guy stole my thunder there, but Jadeveon Clowney was a complete standout. I mean, if you thought he was a bust, no more. And once Watt comes back, good God, what this defense is going to look like. My standout was Brock Osweiler. He actually played a pretty damn good game. He had a rushing touchdown, passing touchdown, 168 yards, no picks. And he found DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins had 5 catches for like 67 or 68 yards and the touchdowns. Congratulations. If there's anything to build on going into next year, he actually knows DeAndre Hopkins exists on the football field. The other standout, again, it's Odell and what happened. And a talent like that you want to say the moment was too big for him, but I don't think it is. I think this kid is a special talent, and I don't think the moment was too big. I think he's getting into his own head, and Stephen Smith said it on, I think it was FS1 with Colin Cowherd. He said once a situation happens, and he's had it happen to him before, where you drop a pass, you're in your own head at that point. And Josh, you and I talked about it from a mental aspect. Is this guy fully in from the mental side of the game? The athletic, the physical side of the game, he's there. He's in there like swimwear. Head there, and I just don't know. And if these things keep occurring, is this guy more of a liability, unfortunately, than he is a compliment to this team?
It goes back to, here's a little psychology about it. I mean, you're a receiver, and that's what you do. You catch balls, you make plays. The moment you stop catching balls and making plays, it's over.
Yeah.
It's different than being a corner. A corner gets burned, he forgets it, because that's what you do. You're gonna get burned. You as fans, we expect a corner or two to get burned. We don't expect receivers to drop balls, especially considering the amount of time there's. I think it's unfair a little bit, but the amount of time they spend catching balls and how many balls Odell Beckham has caught, how many people he's torched, and he's done it to a lot of good corners. He's torched a lot of good corners.
Yes.
And you're just like, well, gee, you're finally here, Odell. You helped get the Giants back to the promised land, 11-5.
Yeah.
And you
he
laid
was their
egg.
MVP.
Go back to college. It's not. He played at LSU. He's been in some big games and some big moments. He laid an egg.
Could it be that they just study his tapes and know where he's going to be and just, head him off in the pass? I mean, I hate that phrase.
Yeah, no,
that could be it too.
I think Capers is a smart guy. I think he has the personnel to say, all right, let's stop these slant and goes. Let's stop him on the slant. This way he can't catch it and beat us down the field. Let's bracket him and let's push him to the outside of the boundary. This way he can't beat us. I'm sure he did all these things. I'm sure he kept his safety over the top and said, okay, well, let's let Sterling Shepard beat us. Let's let Paul Perkins beat us. Let's let everyone else beat us. But this guy here, let's not, because we know he can beat us. He's beaten a lot of people. But it's psychological.
They still had one-on-one. Like, you look at the drops that he had. It wasn't like he was blanketed under coverage, man. He smoked the coverage. It wasn't like Green Bay was that one touchdown pass, it's – I don't want to say it's routine. I don't want to say it's a routine catch. Over-the-shoulder catches are very tough to make, but damn it, man. If you're an elite receiver, and he is, you got to make those catches.
Fuck, but this is the reason why I was saying earlier why, in my opinion, the Giants beat themselves. I'm not taking credit from the Packers. People are going to look at the score and say, 38 points. The momentum, because the Giants had the momentum in the beginning. It should have been 20-0 by the first half. Everybody was getting open. They just wasn't coming up with the footballs. And my whole thing is, when you have a defense like that, the great Aaron Rodgers, listen, if anything, he needs to thank Odell Beckham Jr., Shepard, and Cruz for saying, thanks for letting the distraction get to you guys, because killed your momentum of scoring on us. Had the Giants been up by 20-0, it would have been done. It would have been over. The game really didn't start to the second half. Those 6-0, that should have been 14-0, and then it scored the. And again,
You gotta wrap it up, Tim.
I disagree because I think Green Bay's too good on offense to let that happen. They weren't going to be down 20-0. How many times have we seen that this season? Not often. And when they have been down, they've come back. They may have fell short, but with that offense, and granted, the Giants, like I said, top shelf defense, but Aaron Rodgers is a different animal. And we talk about Aaron Rodgers is regressing. If this is him regressing, man, how did people beat him when he was in his prime then?
Well, yeah,
last
year he was injured.
I don't know how anybody can say he's regressing.
In fact, he's maybe getting better.
No, it's because he's not that injured this year. Last year he was injured, so it seemed he was regressing.
But even injured, he still had a better season than 15 to 17 quarterbacks.
Wait, you know what's so funny? And I have to give credit to Josh, because Josh made a comment last week and says that everybody wants to when the name Aaron Rodgers comes out, everyone massage his shoulder. Oh my God, that's God, praise him. We talk about playoff wins, all right? And when it comes to guys like Tony Romo, how many playoff wins does he have? Aaron Rodgers don't have a good playoff record. The last time I checked. I mean, he is so
Tim,
great.
Let me cut you off there, because you're going into waters you shouldn't venture in. You might get bit by the shark.
I'm not a
We gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up.
You're gonna sit there and venture into something where you're gonna start dismissing Dan Marino as one of the great quarterbacks in the. Listen, playoffs should not account for everything when you grade a quarterback. You got to get to the playoffs. There's 16 games that got to get played to get to the playoffs, and sometimes in the consummate team sport that football is, the shit won't go your way. You could still put up good numbers and lose. So I understand where you're going because of your whole little Tony Romo fandom and everything. It's cool. I understand that. Romo's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Again, last 5 seasons, he's one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL. But let's pause before jumping on Aaron Rodgers, because quite frankly, Aaron Rodgers is one of 5 or 6 quarterbacks that I would take. There's no other quarterback out there. Maybe with the exception of guys like Brady, Brees. Oh, yeah, I know. Dak.
No.
Dak? You want to take Dak?
No. Do you want me to tell you who I would take over Aaron Rodgers? I'll tell you right now.
We gotta move on to.
Look, just real quick. I would take Eli Manning over Aaron Rodgers. You know why? You know why? Because
good luck with that, Tim. Good luck with that, Tim. Good luck with that.
Winners!
Trying to make friends in 2 in the morning.
Winners! I got championship rings.
He's 2 and 4. He's 2 and 4 in the playoffs. He's had 2 good playoff runs, and he's been 1 and done in the other 4. Tim.
Why has Rodgers done?
Next week. Next week, make that one of the subjects for next week.
Why? He's gonna lose that argument.